the guys really locked down and
Yeah.
stopped turning the ball over and took advantage?
Well, I thought we matched their physicality. That was the key to the game. We knew they were going to be physical. I think maybe caught us a little by surprise. We played a little faster with a bit more force. We upped the defense. We challenged everything, made them miss a lot of shots. I thought we just kind of were able to go places with the ball offensively that we weren't able to do in the first half, and we had to move for each other. We had to open up the floor for each other, and we had to go somewhere. So.
And Io seemed to have made such a big impact in this
Yeah.
game. You could really feel his presence.
He's really good against those types of teams because he plays with force and he plays straight lines and he plays quick. He was awesome tonight, both ends.
Chris Ant seemed to do such a good job of moving the ball to other teammates. Yeah. I mean, when he is commanding the floor like that, how much better does it make you guys?
Yeah, I thought once he realized that it was going to be hard for him to kind of do his thing, he got off of it. He stayed patient. Got a lot of really good looks from the three-point line as a result. I thought Julius was really good early in the game, playing through him. And just everybody kind of chipped in, played smart offense in the second half. But Ant, he was great. He was patient. He didn't force anything. Let the game come to him. He was really good defensively too.
Are you seeing Julius's activity defensively start to pay dividends here?
Yeah, I thought he took the challenge. And, sometimes I forget, being in the Eastern Conference, he knows a lot of those guys really well, playing them time and again. So he definitely took the challenge. He was really good defensively. I loved his physicality on the ball. In his switches, he was really aggressive. Another good rebounding game for him as well.
Last two games, you guys have had some early foul trouble. It's nice to have that extended bench now.
No doubt.
Smooth out.
Yeah.
Made a big difference.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we got options and depth and versatility. So, we're super blessed right now. Again, our front office did a great job of, rounding out this roster with exactly what it needed.
Do you think that Io's second quarter performance kind of set the tone for the physicality that you wanted in the second half?
No doubt. And also, it was a good role model for us offensively. Just how he just went places, with quickness.
Dante's really flying around. You see him trying, especially defensively, to almost set a tone, but also play make. Mm-hmm. When you have extra bodies, I mean, he played 26 minutes. They seem to maximize those. Is that kind of ideal now? Hey, you don't have to play 35 minutes, so let's put it all out there.
100%. And, I thought I was trying to look for opportunities to get Dante back in. I thought he was great tonight, really good. What Io was also really good, and I thought we got a chance to hold those guys. Ant, too. I was able to hold Ant pretty deep into the fourth and put him back in for just a couple minutes to help close the game. So, something that we weren't necessarily able to do earlier in the season. Dante plays so hard with so much physicality, so it's good to get him some moments.
How rare is it for somebody to be able to score at full speed like Io can?
He's got a really good touch. When he gets that thing up, it has just like a soft bounce off the glass, and that is a unique skill to be able to try and take the speed off the ball when you're moving that fast.
These last handful of games, a lot of these teams have been trying to put two on Ant to really load up in that way, and it seems like from afar that Julius really has really maybe learned how to help Ant in some of those spots. How have you kind of seen their two-man chemistry develop?
It's really functioning at a high level right now. Something that we talked about mid-season that we had, coming out of the break, we had to bring that chemistry out again. We're going to see a ton of two on the ball down the stretch here in the postseason, all this kind of stuff. So, we're getting more and more comfortable with it, and those guys are really figuring it out with each other. So.
We were talking before the game how this time of the season, the team can kind of see the finish line in sight. Maybe that ramps up their play just kind of naturally. Was the third quarter an example of finding that other gear kind of naturally within the course of a game?
I think.
How do you see that?
I thought we played hard all the way through. I really did. I thought for the most part we played sloppy. I think we fought the game early on, but once we talked about it at halftime, we cleaned up our offense for sure. Lifted our defense a little bit. it didn't feel to me like maybe the other day Memphis where we were kind of sluggish and then found a gear. I felt like we were playing I thought we were playing hard all the way through this game. Just, we were just fighting the game a little too much. So.
What have you seen from Kyle Anderson these couple games back?
He just make the game easy. He just find somebody on a backdoor cut. You put the ball in his hands late in the shot clock. You're going to get something. He kind of sees the floor, anticipates where the defense is going to be. It's all the same things that we loved about him when he was here before. So, and can put the ball in his hands and kind of game slows down, and you're going to get something good.
Coach, we usually talk about Rudy's rebounding, but he led the team with 5 assists tonight. What have you seen from his playmaking ability this season that's improved?
Well, I think Rudy's playmaking ability comes from just kicking it out in the right spots. Just not forcing it up. I thought, play of the game was you got the offensive rebound on the Ant miss, and then battled for it. Could have put it down again and maybe tried to score. But he didn't. He kicked it out, I think, to Nas at the top of the floor, and it was a big shot at that moment in time.
What is the key to sparking movement in the half court when it's not there? Do you have to call something, or just someone doing something?
It's a combination of things. I think one is we can certainly call some things. We got to get back to. I thought in the beginning of the season we were really cutting well. I think our cutting has dried up a bit. That'll free up some opportunities to play behind the cutter or drive and kick and get some movement there. I also think that we just have to play away from Ant and Julius sometimes. That's where the crowd's always going to be. Of course, we want them to have the ball and play through them a ton, but sometimes when it's all bottled up, just get it to the other side of the floor regardless. So.
Doesn't seem like it takes much either. Like some of the times it seemed like it was like one cut and then just the replacement, and then that replacement guy had a good look. Like,
100%. Yeah, especially when they're so heavy around Ant and Julius, like even if they're not committing completely to the ball, they're waiting too. They're sitting heavy in the gaps, and if you cut, then you make them make a choice.
Because you talked before the game about the importance of joy and fun for Ant individually. You guys go on that run in the third quarter or whatever. That seems to be true for your group. That when the vibes are high, that
sure.
you get a great version of your team. How do you go about trying to stoke that out of your team as a coach?
Well, one thing we've talked about at this time of the season, I think Tim Connolly has the best saying for it. He says, at this point there are no unhappy wins. You win if you didn't play well, or you didn't get your shots, or maybe you didn't get this or that, the minutes, etc., or you had a tough night like Jaden did with the foul calls. You're happy with the win and you move on, and keep focusing on the most important thing, which is the winning. And so that's what we just keep preaching. No unhappy wins around here right now.
I think you had 18 points. You seeded off turnovers with 4 minutes to go in the half, and you wound up with 19 points off turnovers.
Yeah.
A remarkable kind of turnaround. You wound up,
I think we only had one turnover in the second half, right? So that's it, So they scored 1 point out of one turnover.
Versus 18 points in how many?
Yeah, 18 points off of the previous 10 turnovers. Yeah.
It was 8 turnovers.
That was it.
At the time when it was 18 points.
Got it. Yeah, taking care of the ball security, particularly against this team's, I think, fourth in the league in forcing turnovers. That's really what they need. The transition. I thought our transition defense was really good tonight. They need to be. They need transition and forcing turnovers to really kind of get their best version of them, and we did a good job with that. Yep.